When you lean forward, crossing their arms, when you cross your arms, it's a really good sign that you guys are syncing and having a really good conversation. Because again, that communication, nonverbal communication, it's going both ways. So that's how we build rapport in our bodies. Remembering is number 5 in building rapport. Why? Because when we bother to remember details about things that someone shared with us, it makes that person feel really special the next time you see them and you remember. Really simple stuff on dates, right? The names of their parents, or the names of their favorite pet, or where they grew up, or their favorite passion, hobby, food, whatever those things that you get to talk about on a first date with someone. Because the next time you meet them, you say, oh, how's your dog? You know, mine's Scooby. How's Scooby? Oh, you paid attention. You paid attention to my dog's name. That's so sweet. Oh, you remembered my parents' name. That's so sweet. Oh, you remembered that my scar on my jaw came from a bike accident I had when I was 7. That's so sweet, right? So it's really important when we're building rapport with someone, because it's not just a one and done. It's something that you build layers. It's like building a stairway, right? So step by step by step, you're getting closer and closer and closer to being connected with this person. So you want to remember those little details. Now, this is one of my favorite tips I love to give my clients, right? The smart boyfriends, the guys who want to be the smart boyfriends who keep their girlfriends and have happy wives and happy lives and all that good and juicy stuff, or, you know, why a lot of us go out and date is because we want that wonderful partner. I can tell you that keeping notes about things that your partner shares, especially you fellas, the ladies share with you, is really, really very seductive and smart, and absolutely something that you should be doing. Why? Because when you remember her favorite food, when you remember her favorite restaurant, when you remember the flowers, the color of the flowers, her lingerie size, when you have all of those things written down and you want to do that very romantic, the valiant, masculine, I love my woman and I want her to know it thing, you've already got it written down. Because where boyfriends and husbands and guys who are dating get in troubles, they don't remember details. And then they look like an idiot when her birthday comes around and he gets her something that isn't even remotely something that she wants for her birthday, right? So when you write things down, you will set yourselves up for success, but that requires that active listening, right? And making notes when you're done. Okay, so number 6, last but not least, in the rapport building strategy session that we are doing here is keeping up the momentum. Like I said, rapport is one of those things that you go step by step in building towards something. You can build rapport immediately, but to build true intimacy, that takes over and over and over again building. So keeping up the momentum is spending time with that person, asking that person out, doing things that they enjoy, inviting them to do things that you enjoy, finding all those ways to create more and more empathy, to create that mutual understanding, to spend more time in each other's physical presence, because familiarity creates fondness. It really does. The more exposure we have to someone, the more and more we can't help but like them, assuming that we've built the rapport, we've started to develop that chemistry, we've been doing the flirting, we've been building the sexual tension, we're having the fun that is what makes being in a relationship and dating worth it, right? So yeah, keep up the momentum, because sometimes what happens and why relationships don't work out ultimately is that someone starts out really strong, right? Listening and paying attention and mirroring and being so present to their partners. And then we get to that point where we start taking our partners for granted, where we start acting like, oh, well, I've already won them. I've already earned them. So I don't really need to work that hard anymore because they already like me. Well, I mean, you can coast on a lot of like foundational things that you've already built, right? And if the sex is good and the communication good and there's other things that are good, yeah, you can kind of get away with being lazy. You know, that's kind of a benefit of being in a relationship. But where it goes sour is when you actually start ignoring those things that made you two fall in love in the first place. And I promise you that chemistry, flirting, sexual tension, really being present to the rapport is what's going to make the difference for you in terms of keeping your relationship juicy and fun and exciting, even when it doesn't feel like it should be. Okay, so that is all I have for rapport building. I have some people in the audience. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Do you have any questions? And if you do, please leave them in the comment, because that is the advantage of showing up here with me live, is that you can ask your own questions. Now you can ask your questions about rapport, or if you have a dating question that you would just love answered, I'm here for that as well. And for those of you who are going to be watching the recording, feel free to send me a direct message or leave a comment, because I know that your questions are going to be really helpful to other people who are part of the audience, because dating is not easy. It is not easy at all. In fact, I have some clients for whom the journey has been a lot longer than they'd hoped it would be, but the reward at the end of it has been so worth it. So, I share that because it's really easy to think, oh, there's just an easy solution. If I just learn how to flirt, if I just learn how to build the sexual tension, if I just learn how to do this one thing, all of a sudden dating is going to be much, much easier. Well, yes, it will be more successful in the sense that you are trained and you have some ways of being with other people that are going to create a new future for you. But at the same time, it's something that you have to go out, you have to practice, you have to be confident about, and you have an expert here at your disposal, right, to be able to help you with it. So